Lee round.
Yeah,
landed the bigger punches, controlled the pace.
Yeah, ring generalship was 100% in Lee's favor, and just feeling him out and trying to land that jab, and I expect him to open up here in the second round a little bit.
And Lee really didn't have to move. He was more in the center of the ring for pretty much the entire time. Fialka was doing a lot of the dancing outside, going from side to side, strafing back and forth. You got to think that after a couple more rounds here, that could really wear Fialka down, and Vershawn could go in for a kill shot.
You know, back to, you know, how much knowledge you have about the other fighter. The further you get along in your career, the more you know. By the time you were fighting, Jacobs and fighting, DeGale and all the other Caleb Plant, you know everything you want to know about him, right? I mean, you put it together a pretty good game plan before the fight, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So, some fighters will say I don't even watch film, which I think is BS. But I was huge in preparation. That was one of the big parts of my game. And,
right.
And I'd watch film basically every day. Every time I ran on the treadmill, every time I just live the fight, basically go through the fight before it even happens. And,
looking for tendencies, right?
Looking for tendencies, looking what he does well, what he does not so well, and what I can take advantage of.
Vershawn went down there, but he was tripped up.
And of course, your opponent's doing the same thing with the film that he's watching about you. But, but remember, you didn't have any weaknesses. So what the hell?
Yeah. I don't know what he could see. Yeah.
Neither men connecting. They're both exchanging, throwing a lot of punches.
Fialka kind of switching back and forth from southpaw to orthodox, and doing it kind of in a dangerous way. He's standing in front of him when he's doing it. I think it's a recipe for disaster when you're switching in front of a guy like that. It's a good chance for Lee to land a shot when he's got his feet not set.
Yeah, especially doing it in front of a fighter with so much power. There's a big left hand.
Again, he was left-handed and just too loose.
Lee once again really controlling the pace. Fialka's having to kind of adapt to his style. He's just looked much more in control.
Yeah.
He's landed the better blows, and there he goes to the body.
Controlling the center of that ring, and that's that amateur pedigree. You know, he just knows how to move his man where he wants him. And when you have, he probably has 100 amateur fights, and Fialka might not. I'm not even sure if he has any.
Right.
The pedigree shines through over time, and that's what's happening now.
When you're watching a young fighter like a Lee who's got a nice record, seems like he knows what he's doing in the ring. What are some of the most important things you look for in a fighter when you go, this guy's got something? Is it the basics? What is it that you look for in a fighter?
Yeah, I'm big on fundamentals for a young fighter. If you're young and flashy and a big puncher, that can only take you so far.
Right.
If you have good fundamentals, and the big thing I look for is patience. And
Don't knock down. Got tripped up a little bit there.
And if you remember last time when Tony Woods was in the main event, that's the one thing I said. I'm looking for patience this time because he's been a little bit too antsy to try to knock this guy out.
Right.
I'll be looking for the same thing tonight. I just want to see patience from a guy that's a prospect trying to work his way up, because when you start fighting elite fighters or even guys that are on their way to not even elite fighters, just good fighters, you can't make mistakes by being too antsy and trying to jump in. And
Right.
You have to be patient. You have to take what's given to you.
Well, and that was a good left hand there. And especially
good right hand.
If you're in, let's say, a 10-rounder.
Good combination.
Big action, yeah. If you're in a 10-rounder, you got 30 minutes to get the job done, right? With a minute in between. So you got 30 minutes, so you can be patient. It's not like, 4-rounder, maybe you feel like, I got to work a little quicker. But when you start moving up in the number of rounds you fight, then patience, I think, really does become a virtue, as the old cliche goes.
That's why sometimes in these we don't have any 4-round fights today, but sometimes in 4-round fights you'll see an upset where a guy that's a professional or a guy that's a experienced amateur is going to go out, try to be almost too patient, where the wild amateur is going to come out and win rounds, even though he's not hurting the guy that's more seasoned. He's being more active, being more busy, and you might see an upset in a fight like that. Where I never really liked 4-round fights, just because I was you saw me fight a million times. I was a slow starter, and not because I didn't want to fight. I was just kind of processing everything and working through the problems in my head.
Have there ever been any big fights in your career, whether it was early or later, where you said you do a lot of game planning before the fight? Were there anywhere you had to totally switch up a strategy mid-fight and just completely readapt to the way the fighter was presenting himself necessarily?
No, not totally switch it up mid-fight, but there's always things you have to switch up, mid-round,
Right.
or something's not working. You have to make some adjustments, and that's a sign of an elite fighter, a world championship fighter. Is you can make those adjustments. You could be a great puncher, you could be fast, but if you go out there and somebody else is ready for it, you can't make an adjustment.
Right.
That's how you lose. Good body work by Rashawn Lee here.
3rd of 5 rounds here in our second bout of the evening.
Lee kind of working through the gears at the end of that second round. I expect him to do the same here in the third. Jab.
Nice left from Lee.
Nice little check left hook.
Lee once again holding his position in the center of the ring. Fialko's trying to get up close and personal. Lee's going to try and shove him off back into the ropes.
Yeah, just spin
dictate
him,
the pace.
Turn him right back into those ropes. Take the center of that ring.
And there he goes again, just effortlessly shoves him off, and he goes right back to work.
When you hold the center of the ring like that, you're taking 2 steps to the other guy's 8, and that adds up over time. Big.
That's what the definition of a haymaker.
A windmill haymaker.
Yeah.
Fialko had his back completely turned to Lee for a brief moment there.
I think he was trying to punch Rashawn Lee's coach in the corner there. Ooh, good body shot.
Yeah.
Nice work to
That
the
hurt
body.
him.
Yeah. Now, Lee senses it too. He knows he did.
He's being patient though. He's
Yep,
not going crazy.
That's correct.
That's the kind of discipline you're going to see from a guy who's had dozens and dozens of amateur fights.
Yeah, he's working that body, taking his time.
I got another cliche for you. Haste makes waste. You take your time. Like you say, that really rocked him there.
Yeah.
I think.
Been a good distribution of work, for a good ratio of body to head work here. Vershawn's really doing a nice job of attacking both.
Yeah, he's mixing it up well.
Both men in that first brawl going for a lot of headshots.
Yeah.
Just going for pure knockout power, but both men trying to work the body and the head equally here.
He's not forgetting his jab either. He's staying behind his jab. Good left hook. Nice jab.
Lee's hands are real quick. Fialko didn't even see. His hands were down, and that jab just came in so quick, he couldn't put his hands up and block that.
Good round from Lee.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in Fialko's corner, I mean, this has been very much a Vershawn Lee fight, those first 3 rounds. Are you telling Fialko, look, you've got to go in for that knockout blow, you've got to try and knock him down? Or are you saying just try and get comfortable and just keep doing what you're doing, just try and ease into your strategy and hopefully turn things around in the last couple frames?
His only shot is to make it a war,
Right.
And that has been working for him. And honestly, if I'm in Fialko's corner, I'm thinking about pulling the plug here pretty soon.
Yeah.
He's getting beat up, and I just don't see a path to victory for him. One more round like that, and what's the point for the 5th round?
Yeah.
It's always a tough decision. Guy doesn't.
Yeah.
He wants to finish the fight, and that's where the corner comes in, right? When
Yeah.
they say you've had enough tonight, it's time to
It's,
time to throw in the towel, as they say.
It's their job to
Yep.
save us from ourselves
Yep.
as fighters, and live to fight another day.
And you've experienced both ends of that. You've
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a long career as a boxer, and you've been in the corners of a lot of mixed martial arts and boxing fighters in particular.
Yeah.
So you've experienced both ends of that story. Round 4 of 5 here.
Lee switching to southpaw, trying some new things out. Not sure if I'd try anything new while the other stuff was working.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to when a corner should say his charge has had enough. Well, maybe the most famous was Frazier Ali when Eddie Futch wouldn't let Joe go out for that 15th round.
Yeah.
He said nope, and Joe wanted to, but he said no,
Yeah.
and that was the right decision. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure Joe wasn't real pleased with it at the time, but that was an all-timer, that fight,
Yeah,
of course.
thrill in Manila.
I believe Ali said that fight was the closest to death he ever came.
And your guy, if it's your trainer and you've worked together for however long, good left hook for Lee. If you work together in the gym every day, you know what your guy has left, and you know how much punishment he should or shouldn't take, and it's up to the referee, the doctor in the corner to save us from ourselves, like I said. There was actually a Minnesota fighter on the undercard of Crawford and Canelo, Sona Akala, Slink Proper, and he was stopped against a Mexican Olympian in the first fight of the night, and Mark Nelson was the referee, and, and Sona was furious that he got stopped, and everyone was saying, good right hand.
Lee trying to close this one out. He's throwing bombs. Fialka's holding on for dear life. Roberts has got to break it up. A minute and 15 to go.
Good left uppercut.
Rashawn's starting to tee
off.
The
referee's got to stop this. There's no reason. That's a really, really good stoppage by the referee. There's no reason to take more punches.
That's exactly right.
That's a really good stoppage.
Going back to when a referee or when the corner or fighter himself knows when it's over. You told me the story on the air when it was the 12th round against
Danny Jacobs.
Jacobs. Yeah. And it had been a competitive fight, but Jacobs at the end kind of had you up against the ropes, and the referee stopped it. And I remember what you told me.
Yeah. I was furious at first because there was 30 seconds left in the fight, and I didn't think I was hurt. He didn't knock me down, but I was just kind of held up against the ropes. And the referee stopped it with 30 seconds to go. Obviously, I want to finish the fight. I want to keep on fighting, and I was pissed off. And he came back in the dressing room. He said, "Hey, man, I stopped it because you're losing that fight. There's no way you're going to win on the scorecards. And if you take another punch, there's no reason for you to take another punch, basically." Yeah. And I was okay with it.
Yeah. Once you explain it that way.
4 rounds of action. The fight has come to a close. The referee has stopped the bout with 1 minute and 54-second mark in the 4th round. Your winner by technical knockout and still unbeaten, Vershawn Lee.